Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 5. So last time we got this Supremium armor and we achieved Creative Flight, which was quite an ordeal actually, because at first I thought it was just the Supremium armor that got you the Creative Flight, and then I realized you needed the Flight Augment on the chest plate to get the Creative Flight, and then I realized for the Augment I needed Allthemodium to get, and then there was this whole thing about I had no idea how to get Allthemodium, and I would try to do things that I didn't actually know if it worked or not to try to find it, and it was just a whole ordeal. But eventually I figured it out, and now I have Creative Flight as well as a very protective armor here. In between episodes I didn't do a whole lot. I just expanded the farm over here a little bit. I'm growing some more seeds now. If we look in the storage system over here, we can see I'm growing some gold essence, steel essence, I'm growing diamond essence and emerald essence, as well as nether star essence, which is pretty interesting. I can craft 9 of it into these nether star shards, and then 3 of them can make a nether star, so I just made 12 there. So I'm getting a shitload of nether stars now, which is nice. Nether stars are kind of expensive, and they do have quite a few uses, so that's going to help us a lot later on. And we also got the blaze essence too, which so now I can get me some blaze rods nice and easily. So now a lot of the resources that we were running low on, we now have a lot of. I also did a lot of mining and just, grinding out, getting all of the. If you look, I also have 32 Insanium essence, so I was just kind of, kept combining all of the essences, and I made a Master Infusion Crystal and all of that stuff. But I didn't really do too much. There's nothing really different in the base other than what I did here. So in today's episode, something that I wanted to do is kind of expand my farming situation here. Because while this is producing quite a bit of resources, it's not exactly mass producing things. Like, it's producing some, and I'm getting a constant flow of some items that I need. But you know what? I think we can do better than this. While these garden clochers are very quick at growing crops, they kind of take up a lot of space. So you can't have too many of them. So I think we could probably also produce a lot by making a bunch of actual farm fields. And we don't really have any space down here yet. I had an idea. And I think what I want to do is expand, make another room off to the side here, another circle room, and I can make it really deep, and I can just have a bunch of farms stacked on top of each other. And I think I want to work on that today. And there's actually a mod in this pack called Industrial Foregoing, which adds these 2 blocks called the Plant Gather and Plant Sower, which basically just automatically plant and harvest crops. So we can just do one of these for each level. And there's also growth accelerators, so it can still grow quite quickly per plant, and it might actually be much better than what we got over here. So we can fit a lot more plants into a smaller space, and it could potentially grow just as fast. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is we're going to need to get plastic to be able to make all the industrial foregoing machines, and for that we need this dry rubber, which you get with the tiny dry rubber. Now to make the tiny dry rubber, we need to use fluid extractors to extract latex from logs that can be processed. I don't think the recipe is actually shown here, but we can process the latex into the rubber. So let's just start by making the fluid extractor, which is a fairly simple recipe here. It's not too complicated. There we go, because we've already made it. I guess I'll just plop it here. I'm actually going to make it face the other way. That's not okay. Actually gonna make it face this way, and then we'll get just some redwood logs. I think might work. Plop it in front of it, and as you can see, it is pulling latex from the log, but it is doing it very slowly. Now I think if we hook this up to the power, it might go a little quicker. So let's see, if we place this here, it is producing it quite a bit faster. So now this here is just gonna sit and produce latex. I'm actually gonna move this because this is kind of not a good spot for it. Let's just make a home for it over here. Okay, there we go. So now we got it over here next to our ore processing thing. And now what we can do is we can make the latex processing unit. So the latex processing unit, I just now seeing it needs a latex bucket. So we're actually gonna have to wait for this to produce an entire bucket of latex. So while that's doing that, I think I'm gonna see if there's a way for me to possibly set up a system that will place the logs in front of this automatically, because as you can see, it's breaking the log a little bit here, and eventually it will break this log entirely, and then it's gonna need another log placed in front of it for it to keep producing latex. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out some way to place another block in front of it. Okay, so I found this block that is from Engineers Decor, called the Factory Block Placer. So let's just break this real quick. And if I just put this right here, it actually already had some in its inventory, but it will place a block in front of it whenever this block is broken. So if I break this block right there, you can see that it will place another block in its place. So now this will just keep producing latex. Oh my god, this thing is so fucking slow. Okay, so I set up a second fluid extractor here that'll hopefully make it go a little bit faster. You know, something I want to do is I kind of just want to see how big I can make my storage, because now I'm kind of starting to mass produce items. Like, I'm getting a lot of items now, especially from all of the Inferium seeds that I have growing on Insanium farmland. And it's still only 19% full, but I think that's too full. 19%, that's too full. We need more storage. So I want to see how big of a storage disk I'm physically able to make with my resource capacity at the moment. One thing I will have to do first is I think I'm going to make some silicone seeds, because we don't have a lot of silicone. We don't have a lot of quartz either. Of course, I probably could just make quartz seeds, right? Maybe I'll make quartz seeds instead, and then we'll just smelt the quartz into the silicone. Okay, so now we are growing nether quartz, and we should be getting some essence in the system soon. And then hopefully we could just make a bunch of nether quartz and we can smelt a bunch. But since I don't really wait around for these nether quartz seeds to grow to get me a bunch of essence, I think I'm gonna do a quick trip to the nether and get me some quartz. One thing I have noticed about this pack is the world kind of tends to do this a lot when you're moving around and traveling. I'm not exactly sure what the cause of this is, but it kind of is really obnoxious. I don't know if there's any fix to that, but I mean, it's not terrible. It's just a slight inconvenience, especially when I just like go back to my base or something and my base is not loaded and I have to close the world and open it again in order for it to go away. I don't know. Okay, so here we are back at the base, and we got 938 nether quartz while we were out. So I think what I'm gonna do is just turn maybe half of this into silicone. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna make a shitload of quartz enriched iron here. I'm also gonna crush a lot of cobblestone into gravel, because I'm gonna need a lot of glass, and I'm too lazy to go out and get sand, so I'm just gonna make sand with the crusher, because you can actually put cobblestone in the crusher to get gravel, and then you can put gravel in the crusher to get sand. So I'm just gonna do this a bunch of times. All right, let's see how many 1K storage parts we can make right off the bat. 2 stacks and 12. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll just make 9 stacks of 1K storage parts, and we'll see how far that gets us. I think we're gonna need way more quartz though. You know, looking at the recipe of the silicon from the silicon essence, I probably should have just made the silicon seeds. Alright, so now we're making some silicon essence so we can get a crap load of this stuff, hopefully. Okay, so now while we were working on our little storage project here, I actually realized that we managed to make 2 buckets of latex while we were, you know, working on everything. So I guess while we're waiting for the silicon essence to build up, I think we'll go back to working on this here, because this is kind of the main focus of the episode. Alright, so we make ourselves a latex processing unit, and there we go. Okay, and I'll just pop this guy right here. And you know what we could do is, I could just have this push out the back, but then I would have to extend this. So I think just the easiest, laziest way to do this would be to just put that's not the right pipe. There we go, this pipe, and put it here. And then just go straight from the tank into the latex processing unit. So now we're actually going to need to supply this thing with water. So I'll just put a tank right next to it, and I will make it pull water from right next to it, and this part will fill up with water, and you can already see it's already producing the tiny dry rubber. So the latex production is actually going kind of slow here too, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to the nether, get more quartz, maybe speed up this storage project, and maybe by the end of the storage project we'll have enough latex to make the machines. It's kind of a back and forth at this point, but kind of what we gotta do. Oh my god, I've actually mined so much quartz to the point where I have 106 XP levels. Holy shit. Alright, so now we've just got back from our nether trip, our second nether trip, and I got a shitload more quartz. So this should be enough to do what we need to do. Okay, there we go. Now we have 9 stacks of 1K storage parts. Oh my god. This definitely is not worth it. Okay, so I finally crafted down all of those storage components, and I actually was able to get 2 1024K storage part, and I have an extra 256K storage part, so I'm gonna just throw these 2, or these 3 into the system, and that'll be our little storage upgrade for the episode. Alright, there we go. We now have a storage capacity of 2,624,000 items. Very nice. Alright, so now that project is done. Let's see how much rubber we have. 40? That should be enough. We can make 4 dry rubber, which will make us 4 plastic. You know, I actually just realized this is enough to make a plant sower and a harvester, but we're gonna need like 16 of each, or maybe more. So you know what? Let's just dig out the area, and then we'll see how much plastic we have. Okay, so I'm gonna start digging out the area for the farms in just a second here, but I think what I'm gonna do first is make a ring of magnetization. Now this is just like a simple thing that when you have in your inventory will pull items towards you, so you don't have to like go on top of every single item to pick it up. It's a nice little thing that's just gonna help me dig out the area without leaving shit laying around everywhere. And normally we would need to get into Botania with this, but we already have some mana steel, so I mean it only takes like 8 mana steel, which we have enough, so we can kind of just make it just like that, and there we go. I think one episode we definitely will have to get into Botania. That is a very fun mod, and there's a lot of really cool stuff, so maybe next episode. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so now I think we're all set to start mining out an area. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build it off right here, because this is kind of like the closest to where our operating area is. And I think we could probably do this for each side of the base and add like more rooms shooting off of like the, where these paths end here. So that's gonna be a cool thing. But I guess for now I'll do this, and I'm gonna keep with the whole circle theme. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this kind of like a hallway here, and then I will make like a big circle room, and I think this is gonna go down all the way to bedrock, and I plan to have just like farms stacked on top of each other going all the way from bedrock to the top here at this base level. Maybe I'll do it a little bit higher if I want to fit some more farms in there, but I think right now we'll start with we'll go up to this level, and then if we need to make it higher, we'll do that. Okay, so now I've got this circular area dug out. Now I gotta dig this down. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Something I think I will do for this is I'll just kind of dig out all of the edges all the way down to bedrock, and then I can just like vein mine everything in the middle. That'll help a lot. Maybe I won't go quite down to bedrock because there's lava and shit, so I might just go like to level 10 or something. Alright, so we're back here, and I got this hole dug out over here for our farming area. So what we need to do next is we need to make the actual like dirt platforms that are going to be the farms. So first I think I need to figure out how big I need to make the platforms themselves. So I guess what I'll start by doing is just digging out an area down here all the way at the bottom. As you can see, I kind of just went with the same theme down here that I did with the rest of the base, with the basalt walls and the marble brick floors and stuff, and we'll probably do a little bit more decorating later because it's just a dark hole right now, but we'll see what we could do about that later. Okay, so I've decided that this is a good size for my farms. It's like right in the middle of the circle, and I wanted to kind of not go too close to the edges, and I think this is a pretty good size for it given the room that I have. So what I think I'm going to do for the first layer, because there's kind of this layer of bedrock here, because this hole kind of goes all the way down to bedrock. So there's this big layer of bedrock here. So what I think I'm going to do is just build the first layer 1 block upward, so I can fit all the stuff I need underneath the actual farm to be able to farm it automatically and everything. But that will make more sense once this is complete. So we can get our building gadget here, and then we can just build all the way across just like that. I just absolutely love this thing so much. It is like the most useful thing I think I've found in this entire pack so far. It's honestly way better than the builder's wand. Okay, so there's our first layer of dirt. Something I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna make a nice quick way to get up and down from the top here to the bottom, because it's kind of a long drop and flying up and down is kind of time consuming. Not that time consuming, it's just I'm lazy and I don't want to fly up and down all the time, so we're gonna do a little thing here to make that go by a little quicker. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an elevator, but this elevator is a little bit different than what we have built over there. It's actually instant. It's a lot faster. I don't know if it'll be able to reach all the way down there, but we'll see how far we can get with just these two. So let's see, we can put one right down here and then place one right here. There we go. Now, the way this works is you just put one elevator directly above another elevator, and when you stand on the top one and shift, it teleports you right down to the bottom, and when you're on the bottom one and you press space, it takes you all the way up to the top. So now that's we have a nice quick way of getting from the top to the bottom. Now you may be wondering why I didn't just do one of these over here. Well, it's because I wanted to play around with the create mod to make this elevator, and honestly I think this elevator is a lot cooler. And it serves the purpose that I need it for. I mean, I don't typically go up and down the shaft very often, so I don't need to get up and down very quickly. And it goes fast enough, and I can always make it faster if I really need to. Okay, so now what I've done here is I kind of built this little frame around the first layer, and I have these 4 pillars going all the way up to the ceiling. So what I plan to do is build one of these dirt layers every 2 blocks like this, so I have 1 block of space underneath and 1 block above each layer of dirt. Obviously a layer on top for everything to grow, but we're also going to need a layer underneath for the planter and the growth accelerators that are just going to make it grow a lot faster. And we also have these holes here, and basically what I'm going to do is at the top layer I'm going to place some water, and then it's going to flow down through all the layers. And all of these holes are perfectly laid out so that the entire farm will be watered properly. The only thing is I won't be able to make it flow down the center here, because the center block for all of these is where the planter is going to go. So it's just going to be down the sides, but it's still going to look pretty cool. Alright, so here we got the top layer here. I haven't made any of the layers in the middle yet, but at least now I have all the water that's flowing down from the top to the bottom, and I can actually till all of the land and not have it go away because it's not watered. For now I will just put one going down the middle so I can till everything, but eventually I'm gonna have to put a water source block on every layer, but that's not a problem. Okay, so far here we got all of the dirt in, all the water is flowing down on all the places where we need. We got all these lanterns and torches here to light everything up to stop mobs from spawning, because before I did that there were a lot of mobs spawning. But now there's no mobs in here. There's just a couple bats left, but other than that, it's looking pretty good. So now all I need to do is till all the fucking land, which is gonna take maybe a long time, I don't know. Maybe there's like a better hoe that I can make. Fuck it, let's make a supremium hoe. Alright, so now I got a supremium hoe. Let's see if this is any better. No. It literally it's just a regular hoe. I mean, it's unbreakable, but I still don't understand why I would need this. So as of right now, I can't really find any hoes that I can make right now that will actually till a lot of land at once, so it looks like we're just gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. You know, I'm just now realizing I could have crafted all of this into farmland before I placed it, and that would have been much faster, but I guess it's too late for that. Okay, so there's our first field tilled. So what I think I'm gonna do is instead of just going down and tilling all of them, I think I'm just gonna till each field as I make seeds for each field, just so I don't have to waste all my time tilling areas that don't really need to be tilled at the moment. So I guess I'm gonna start with this farm here, and we'll see what we can grow on this, and then I'm pretty sure I can actually get more seeds from farming the magical crops on farmland if the farmland is the same level. If I put the same level essence on it as the seed that's growing on it, I think it will there's a extra chance that it will actually give an extra seed when the plant is harvested. So I think what I can do is just start off with a couple of seeds, and then I can hopefully be able to get enough seeds to grow a whole field. The first thing I'm going to do is make some of these these Supremium growth accelerators. I don't know how many I'm actually gonna need. Let's just make 6 for right now. That should be enough. And what these will do is basically I can just put it underneath here like this, and then anything growing on this farmland up here will grow faster. So let's just start nice and simple. We'll start with the diamond seeds. So I'm gonna plant these right here like that. And now because the diamond seeds are tier 5, we're gonna need a lot of Supremium Essence for this. I have about 349. I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. It might be enough, but I guess for now I'll just turn the farmland that it's actually growing on into Supremium farmland. Okay, so something I just found out about these growth accelerators is they affect the plants in a column above it. So I actually need a growth accelerator, basically just an entire layer of growth accelerators that's going to be able to affect the entire farm. So what I think I could do is just replace this entire layer here with growth accelerators. And something that I also read is that they can actually stack too. So if I put 2 growth accelerators on top of each other, the blocks all above it will be affected by, will grow twice as fast. So what I could potentially do is I could probably just make like a 3-block tall layer of growth accelerators at the bottom here. So everything above it will grow at the power of 3 growth accelerators. That sounds like a good idea. So basically I'm gonna need a shitload of growth accelerators. Well, I just made 51 and now I'm out of Supremium. Oh shit. Luckily what I'll be able to do is I can slowly start replacing all of these with the Inferium seeds. So I can use this specifically just for growing Inferium, and hopefully I'll get fuckloads of it. What I think I'm going to do is for now, I'm going to replace all of the seeds with Inferium for right now. Just because I have a lot of resources that I've gained over time anyway from this. And there's only just a few seeds, like the slime seeds, I'm going to leave in just so I can continue producing just certain things that I need right now. Okay, so now most of these seeds have been replaced with Inferium, with a few exceptions, but I think I'm just going to place all of these seeds in my backpack here, and I'll kind of I'm going to start converting these fields to be able to grow the magical crop seeds. Something I do want to do is convert one of these fields to an Inferium field. But I want to have it all Insanium, but that's gonna be that's gonna be a lot of essence that I'm gonna need. Would you look at that? I already got an extra seed. All right. Now, where these do grow a little bit slower than they do in the garden cloches, they still do grow pretty fast, and there's also a lot more plants, so it still should give me more output anyway. Now that I think of it, I wonder if it'd be worth it to get rid of this layer too, and then have it all of the accelerators go up maybe higher. Okay, so now that we got stuff growing here, I need to actually make a way to harvest it automatically. So for that, we're gonna make a planter, or it's called a plant sower, I believe. Yeah, we need a plant sower, and we're also gonna need a plant gatherer. I'm gonna need one of these for each layer, but for now, we'll just make one for the layer that we got going right now. All right, so we got our plant sower, and we just need to make our plant gatherer. All right, there we go, plant sower and plant gatherer. That's not all I gotta do is place the sower right underneath, just like that. And then what I can do is place the gatherer right here. Okay, so now we do actually have a problem with this. So if I go in the GUI here and turn on the working area to show where it's actually doing stuff, you can see that it's only this one little block above it. So in order to make this area bigger, we're gonna need some upgrades for the machines to be able to make them be able to work in this whole area here. So now what we're actually going to need to upgrade these machines is these range add-ons. So now our farm there goes out 10 blocks from the center. So I'm assuming that a tier 10 upgrade should be exactly what I need. Unfortunately though, it needs a machine that I have never used before. I just need the machine casing. And there we go, a dissolution chamber. Just plop this right here. Oh, so we actually need latex for this. Oh, that's kind of annoying. So what I think I can do for now is just put this where the latex processing unit was. So now hopefully when this gets enough latex, it should pump out an add-on. I am happy to see though that these plants are growing much faster than I expected. I started off with 3, I already got an extra 4 seeds here, so hopefully I should be able to fill up the entire field fairly quickly, because it should snowball. Okay, as you can see here, I've kind of ramped up the latex production a little bit, simply because this is going to take a while and we're going to need quite a bit of latex. So I decided I'd add another fluid extractor to this one, and then just to make 3 more sets of extractors extracting from logs here. So this is producing a lot more latex than before, and hopefully it should make the process of making all of these upgrades much faster. So now that we do actually have one upgrade, let's see if this is big enough. If we go ahead and pop it in here, we can see, yep, it is perfect. So now we just need to make one for the plant gatherer, and then what we can do is set up some way of automating this. Okay, so now what I've done here is I set up this logistical sorter that is basically set to just pull out whenever there's diamond essence in here. It pulls it out and puts it directly into the ender chest. Now that leaves the diamond seeds in here. And the diamond seeds, I think what I'm going to do is I'll put another logistical transporter on the bottom here that's going to take out the seeds, and then it's going to transport them right back to the plant sower. So then this whole cycle can repeat, and it can keep growing more crops and producing essence. See, it's already starting to snowball. I'm getting a lot of seeds. Alright, so I just set up this logistical sorter on the bottom that will pull the seeds out of the machine, and then we'll transport them back into the plant sower so they can be planted. And you can already see it planted one over here. This is why I kind of need to make this entire farm Supremium farmland, because it's just going to plant them in random places, and it's not going to keep it all tightly in here in the center. What I could do is give it a smaller upgrade so it only plants them on here for right now, but I'm too lazy to make more upgrades, so I think we're just going to leave it the way it is right now. Actually, I think what I'm going to do down here for right now is just do one layer on the bottom, just because I kind of want to even this out a little bit instead of having everything grow really fast only in the center. I'll just make it so that everything grows a little bit slower, but there'll be more spaces where things can grow faster, if that makes any sense. The only problem here now is that there's sludge starting to build up, so that's something we're gonna have to deal with. Oh, something we can do is make a sludge refiner that will, I think it just turns sludge into random shit, but I'll be able to get it out of my machines. Alright, so now I got the sludge boiler that's sucking up the sludge from the gatherer and turning it, I think it just turns into like dirt and clay and other stupid crap, and then it's just getting put directly into our ender chest here. So now I've actually set it up here so that this side, there's nothing blocking it. So what I can do is when there's another plant gatherer right here, I can just pump the sludge out of the side of it and then have it pipe that goes directly up into the sludge refiner. So this one sludge refiner can be refining the sludge from all of the plant gatherers. So I don't have to make a million of these. Alright, so on that note, I think I'm going to end this episode here. We got this farm done today, which is good. It's not done. I still need to make all of this farmland into Supremium farmland, but that's going to be, I'm going to do that in between episodes. I might also add some more farms as I go down. We're just gonna need to be making a lot of essence though, so it's gonna take some time. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of All the Mods. If you liked the video, please, feel free to leave a like on it, subscribe if you want to see more episodes, and with that, I'll see you guys later. Peace.